Hey everybody, good morning. It is Sunday. It is May 24th, and I am in the annex with Bebop, our pregnant mom cat who is pregnant, we found out yesterday, with 7 kittens, or at least 7 we could count on the x-ray. It seems like everybody agrees the number is 7. Hi, Bebop. What do you got here? You want to play with some catnips? She loves the catnip, but she's been a little low energy, obviously. As you know, she went to the vet yesterday instead of our mailbag time, and she did very well at the vet, actually. She traveled well, and they tested all of her stuff, and they think that she's generally pretty healthy. Now, we did get her blood work back this morning from the vet. It was very nice of them to call us, even though they're closed, and just let us know what the results were. Dr. Katz is great like that. She always takes care of us. This stack of dishes, by the way, is her food from yesterday that I need to take downstairs with me. Um, anyway, we got the blood work back, and the blood work is generally pretty decent. There's nothing on there that's to be concerned about. There were a couple of numbers that were out of the ordinary, but not too far. When I say out of the ordinary, I mean, slightly elevated, but not actually something that we haven't seen before. It's probably just because she's pregnant. Oh no, she just threw up some of her breakfast. Well, that's not great. That reminds me, the vet did tell me that I should give her some Serenia every day, so I guess I'll start her on that as soon as we're done with the close-up. Instead of having us stare at that, why don't I pick up this blanket? Here we go. Sorry about that, everybody. You know what happens. She ate like breakfast, and then she drank some water, and then she ate some kibble, and then she ate some KMR, and then she drank some more water, and then she had some more KMR. So I don't even think she threw up everything she ate just there. It was just a little bit of spit up. No big deal. She looks surprised by it though. She's like, "What just happened?" No, that wasn't having your kittens. That's not. You should know. That's not what it's like. Um, she's fine. Anyway, my point was, the point I was trying to make at this ironic moment now is that the vet basically checked her out as being okay. And the vet's recommendation for us, again, I talked to them just this morning. She said that I said I'm just going to continue to try to feed her the KMR and the K. So this is okay. I'm all over the place. This is the KMR, which is kitten milk replacer, and KMR2, which is the kitten weaning formula. I mixed them together. I put a little water in there. It's really yummy. Cats love it, and she loves it. So that's good. And then this is the Dr. Elsie's clean protein dry food, and she also likes that. And she eats a little bit of it here and there, but I feel like she can't get down very much. So the fact that the KMR has a lot of calories in it is very good for her. And the vet said that probably the reason she's not eating very much is that there's no room. She's a very small cat. She weighs 7.5 pounds, and that's with 7 kittens in her. So there's just not much space for food right now. Um, so when I talked to the vet this morning, I said, look, I'm just going to keep giving her the KMR and the Dr. Elsie's and keep an eye on her. And that's all I'm planning on doing, nothing else. Just the KMR, the Dr. Elsie's, keep an eye on her. And the vet said, that's good, but you should also give her some more Serenia, which is the anti-nausea medicine. So she said to try giving her a dose of Serenia every other day, sort of as needed. And I don't know if that the fact that she just spit up a little bit of food means that it's as needed today, but I am going to give her a dose. Like I said, when we're done with the close-up, that will be the next thing I do. Anyway, she has been much improved in the last 24 hours since we got her back from the vet. Um, she's up more often. She walks around the room more often. She's getting herself some water and some food more often. I was aiming to spend the whole night in here with her last night. I was in here until about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I woke up to use the restroom. And for some reason, I felt just really queasy myself. So I went and laid down in the regular bed. She didn't seem like she was going to do anything, and she didn't. So it seemed like a fine judgment on my part. But while I was in here last night hanging out with her for several hours, she kept getting up and going and eating food and drinking water all on her own. And that made me feel really good. Plus, she spent plenty of time hanging out outside of her box too. She likes to hide over in this corner that's full of stuff, and I think that's probably why, because it's kind of like a spot that she can be out but concealed. So Anyway, it's all good. It's really all good news for Bebop right now, despite the fact that you guys just saw her spit up a little bit of food. Again, I don't think it was nearly as much as she's had to eat this morning, so she's still ahead of the game. Plus, the thing that really set me off bringing her to the vet yesterday was the fact that she had lost weight. We weigh her every morning, and yesterday was the first day that that weight was lower, and it was lower by a pretty big amount because she hadn't been eating. But this morning it's back up again to what it should be, and if it just keeps going up, then we're just going to keep being happy. So that's about it. She's, like I said, a sweetheart. Oh, I want to show you one other thing while we're in here. So first off, while I was in here hanging out with her last night, I cut down the front of her box, which we normally don't even do until the kittens are old enough to justify it. But I was having trouble reaching in there, and I figure I can just tape it back up or find some other way to secure it once the time is right. So that's why the box is cut down already. But I also installed her some new lighting. Look at the way we're doing the lighting in the boxes now. Is that fancy or what? It's LED lighting. It looks very bright on the camera, but it is dimmable and it's all the way on the lowest setting, so it's actually not that bright. But it lights up the box so well. I can't wait for her to have kittens because we're going to be able to take some great photos right there in the box. So I'm very happy about that. And just like it's just like the lights that we use in the condo downstairs to make sure the kittens are lit. It is LED lighting, and I've installed it in a silicone strip so that so even if kittens decide to bite on it, it's low voltage anyway. But worst case, kittens can bite on it or whatever, and they're not gonna bite all the way through. It's all well protected. So I'm very proud of myself. Nice setup, and it's gonna make for some gorgeous photos later because that box, just the lighting in there is it's the best we've ever had in a kitten box, and we should have started doing it this way a long time ago. Really happy about that. Oh, if you also didn't notice the other thing I did yesterday, she kept pushing the blankets out of the way and laying on her cardboard. And I figure that when it's time for her to deliver her kittens, she's probably going to do that. Push all the blankets out of the way. She's probably going to have kittens on the cardboard. She's going to wreck the whole box. So what I did was I cut a couple of extra layers of cardboard and put them on the bottom. There's one layer of just plain cardboard on top. Then there's cardboard covered in a rubber sheet underneath that, and then there's the box. Plus, I have a spare cardboard up here ready to go if I need to replace some. So all prepared on that front. And then, as usual, I have a pile of blankets off to the side for when she's ready to deliver. So I feel like I'm super prepared for this. It's going to be really good. There she is having a little drink of water. We're so happy about this. She's like, "What are you doing? Can't you just let me drink in peace?" There's just no chance that she's going to choose to deliver on the beanbag chair. She doesn't like to climb up on stuff like that, so I'm not concerned about it. I see lots of people in the chat saying that we need to protect the beanbag chair. There's just no way. There's no way, he said. Famous last words. But no, really. She's never voluntarily climbed up there at all. And here, like I said, this is one of her favorite spots. Now, she might decide to deliver back there in that corner on the rug, in which case, nothing I can do about that. That would be like Tempest when Tempest decided that she was going to have her babies standing up in the middle of the room and just shoot them out standing. Uh, that's a heck of a way to enter the world if you are a kitten. It was crazy. Tempest's delivery was ridiculous. We really named her appropriately when it came to delivery time. She went right in the middle of the room and just started yelling at the top of her voice, like as loud as she could. It was almost frightening, just the way she was just yelling. It was disturbing yells. And then all of a sudden, just started delivering her kitten, standing up in the middle of the room, yelling. If you remember, Tempest is the one that had her life partner, Teacup, with her, and Teacup got very concerned and wanted to help and was getting just a little too aggravated by all the noise and crazy stuff going on. So DJ had to put her out of the room. And, oof, man, It actually, though, when all was said and done, despite all the noise and drama, it was a very easy and quick delivery. She did great. So I'm hoping for the best here when we have this delivery. And as mentioned, 7 kittens is a lot, but 7 kittens is not our record. I think our record is 9, which was Verse probably. And even our very first mom cat ever that we didn't help a bit because we didn't know what we were doing. Our very first mom cat delivered 7 kittens pretty much all on her own without any problem. So, so I've got high hopes that everything here is going to go very, very well. Fingers crossed. So she is, as predicted, laying down exactly where I said she would. Feel like I want to move this big black thing out of here, though. We've got enough stuff in here. It'd be nice to be able to kind of keep a better eye on her. Anyway, I'll think about doing that. I'm going to vacuum her room this morning when I start doing all my chores after this. I'm totally going to do it. Whether that means she's going to put up with it, I don't know. I might have to put her in a carrier and just move her across the hall for 5 minutes while I vacuum. But I got to do it. She's been getting litter everywhere. Which, by the way, she's had lots of little poops last night, which is good. I'm glad everything is moving, but they were all kind of, eggs as we would expect. They were very soft and diarrhea poops. But considering all the rich food that we're giving her, that's exactly what we would expect. So I feel good about that too. I'm more happy that she's pooping a lot and not so worried about the fact that it's not great poop yet. So it's all good. Here is Loganberry. Hi, Loganberry. We bought an adult-sized hanging basket because the little hanging basket has been so fun for kittens, and nobody will use it. I guess maybe I should offer it to the kittens and see if they'll use it because it's more their speed. It's really cool, though. Isn't it beautiful? And it's really sturdy. It's well built. It's a little smaller than I expected. It's only going to fit one adult cat, and maybe that's why they don't like it, but it's so cool. It's just one of those things you buy for your cats that's the coolest thing ever, and then they don't use it at all, and you're like, oh, why did I do that? Maybe kittens would, though. I should give it to the kittens and see what happens. I bet they would have fun with it. So there's Maggie and Loganberry. Oh, and Brooke was out this morning. Speaking of Brooke, Brooke loves to play with this thing, and she was tearing it up. Look at this. You can see the feathers that she left around. She was really ripping into it. I recorded a little bit of video of it, but it was after she tore it up, so it's not as fun as I would have liked. But maybe I'll put that on our Twitter or something. It's a little too short for a YouTube video, but I think it'd be fun for people to see. So, hi, good morning. So this is Blarney, who always comes running when she hears my voice. Hi, yes, hi, Blarney. Okay, high five. And this is Gabby, who always comes running when she hears my voice. Gabby is the biggest kitten. We've got just 4 kittens in this group. Oh, Maggie hanging out with Banter there, and now Blarney. That's good. That's a good interaction, Maggie. And here's Scuttlebud. Hi, Scuttlebud. They're all just going to go out and wander around the kitchen this morning. I opened both the doors this morning, so they've had plenty of time to go wherever they want. But I didn't, I had opened the cat run for them, and then Loganberry and Maggie both went out in the cat run, and I didn't want another conflict like we had yesterday, where Gabby, Maggie, and Loganberry were all fighting for who would get control of the cat run. So I just closed the cat run door, knowing that that would keep Gabby from even having the possibility, because she hasn't figured out how to work the door yet. But now nobody's over there, so I could open it up again. Hi, Blarney. Hi, what are you doing? Blarney is just the people cat in this group. The little beeper of the group, I guess. And speaking of their personalities, Banter has started to come around a little bit more. She's been the most aloof. She probably still is the most aloof. But yesterday she wanted to snuggle quite a bit and play with me, and that was a nice feeling. In a way, kind of like with Brooke. Brooke was never quite aloof, but Brooke did have quite an attitude at first. And it's interesting how when you have a cat that really makes you work for their affection like that, How much more it feels like you've accomplished something once they are friends with you. You know, I feel like the relationship I have with Brooke feels really special for having been, something that we were so invested in. Of course, it also feels really special for the fact that Brooke has now been here longer than any other cat at the entire history of the Academy, obviously with the exception of the ones that we have adopted. But for any cat that is not ours, Brooke is now and probably forever the record holder. I hope, fingers crossed, that that's a once in a lifetime circumstance. But the good news is that Brooke is getting adopted on the 29th, which is very exciting. This kitten is zooming by. I don't know where to point the camera. There's Loganberry having a snack. There's Blarney. There's Gabby. So, follow up on the mailbag stuff, by the way, which is, I mentioned this yesterday. We didn't do the mailbag on Saturday because we were taking, um, we took Bebop to the vet. Wow, easy for me to say. We took Bebop to the vet yesterday and missed mailbag as a result. But we also missed picking up the mail, and the post office, I'm sure, will be closed today and tomorrow. And as a result, I'm probably going to try to pick up the mail on Tuesday just so it doesn't sit there. We're going to return it to the sender or something to that effect. So I'll pick up the mail on Tuesday, but we'll just save it and do one big mailbag next Saturday. I think that's going to be the plan. Oh, that's Smokey in that cat bed back there. I almost didn't realize that was her. Gabby's over here meowing at me and rolling around for pets. She's so silly. Oh, Banter wants to go out, but she can't figure out how to work the cat door. Because the only time that the kittens have gone out is when I prop it open. I should see if I can do that right meow while we're still doing the stream. How about that? Except it takes me 2 hands to do correctly, so you're going to have to forgive me for 1 second. 1 sec, everybody. Let's just see. Oh, immediately, Gabby's out. She did not even wait for me to get the door propped open. And this looks like Blarney following. I can't tell. I'm just seeing the rear end. Yes, that. Oh, wait, no, that's Gabby. And behind Gabby is. Yes, that's Blarney. And this is Banter. Banter, you wanted to go out just a second ago. You gonna go out now? You just want to see me. This is what I'm talking about. Look at that. Hi. Hi, you're excited to see me now. What changed? You were excited to see me like the week that you were born, and then after that you were like, he's old news, and now you're back to liking me again. That's great. It's a little chilly this morning. I don't think it's quite 50 degrees out yet, but it's nice and sunny, and it's supposed to get very warm today. Actually, I said that's probably over 50. It's probably not 60, though. It's a little chilly, but it's not bad if you got a fur coat on. So, Jessica Wright, how do you tell the difference? That's a good question. Let me see if I can point it out from here or not. They're a little hard to see. So, the easy one to tell is Banter because Banter is darker and Banter is a brown tabby, so she's got a lot of brown color in her. And she's still out there somewhere. I think that's her that you see right over Mom's back. Yeah, that's her because you can tell immediately because she's darker. She's the one that went all the way in the back there. So she's the easy one. The other two are a little trickier because they're both gray tabbies. But the thing that I tend to look for is the front legs. Do you see how the front legs here are white? The one with the white front legs is Scuttlebutt, and the one with the stripy, oh, that's Banter. The one with the gray tabby that's in the back now with the stripy front legs is Blarney. So Blarney has the stripy front socks, and Scuttlebutt has the white front socks, and Banter is the darker colored brown tabby, where Banter and Blarney and Scuttlebutt are both gray. Okay, I probably said some names wrong, so let me start over just to be sure. Scuttlebutt has white front legs and is a gray tabby. Blarney has stripy, Blarney, who you can't see, has stripy front legs and is a gray tabby, so looks an awful lot like Scuttlebutt. And then don't start trouble, Maggie. You can't go out right now because Gabby's out there. This is what you were doing yesterday that was so frustrating to me. Nope. Finally, Banter is the brown tabby and much darker colored, so you can tell at a glance usually. Maggie, you're going to start trouble. Gabby doesn't like you hanging around with her kids, and I wonder why. Look at what you're doing. So here, this one's Banter, and I'm just going to put her over here in the light. Do you see how much more brown she is in her stripes than Scuttlebutt? Come over here for a second. I want you to be here for a comparison. Scuttlebutt, come on. We can't see. You need to come over here. Whatever. Come here, Scuttlebunny. Okay, let's put them right next to each other for a second. Look at that. Oh, there we go. Now we got them lined up. So Scuttlebutt's gray, and Banter has the brown in her stripes, a lot of brown. And this is Blarney with the stripy front legs. So Blarney's stripy front legs, white front legs is Scuttlebutt, and the darker, browner tabby. Ugh. Whole time I'm not paying attention. Maggie decides to go outside and start trouble. Maggie, get in here. There you go. There you go. Use some judgment. I like the fact that Gabby will just tell her, go away, this is my space, and then leave it at that. That's actually a very good cat interaction. And it's a shame that Maggie has to keep pushing her luck when Gabby is being really so polite about it. Gabby really is a great mom. Not only does she always look out for her kittens, and here she's going to correct Loganberry. This is the same thing you and Maggie were doing yesterday, Loganberry. Why don't you learn a lesson and go somewhere else for a while? Did you ever think of that, buddy? I can see what you're doing. Go on. It's okay, Gabby. I'm telling him to go away. You don't have to back me up on that. I got it covered. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, what I'm saying, what a great mom she is, because here she is, she protects her kids, but she doesn't go out of her way to attack like some mom cats that we've had. In fact, if I recall, was it Ariel or Verse that I'm thinking of that was that like hyper protective of her kittens and would just chase the faculty down all the way across the house to beat up on them and nonstop. You'd have to break them up before she would quit attacking. That's an example of a bad interaction. That was Ariel. Thank you. That's where it's not good or acceptable. But if she's just gonna, give a hiss and a smack, and then as soon as Logan decides to back off, she's done. That's a good interaction in my book. That's just a cat correcting another cat in the only language that they really have. So not actually trying to cause any damage. But I'll tell you my favorite thing about Gabby, though, and you guys, I'm sure you have seen this, is that she is a kitten. She's just a big kitten. She plays with her kitten, she plays with her toys, she pounces and runs around and is just ridiculous. It's so fun to see her playing with her kittens. And then, of course, she loves to get scritches. I've been the last few days. I've been saying that there's 4 kittens in her class. there's her and the 3 kittens that she had. It's just a class of 4 kittens hanging out together. Brrr. So anyway, yeah. Oh, I posted some pictures that DJ sent me of Custard at the apartment yesterday. He's doing very well. She bought him a really fun cat tree. It's very fancy, I guess. I mean, it looks very fancy, and he likes it. I'll put those same pictures on the Twitter just so that people that aren't on our Discord can see how Custard's doing. But the bottom line is that Custard's doing very well. Now, I do think that the dynamics here in the house have shifted a little bit since he's gone, and it's hard for me to say exactly how it's shaken out, but I keep noticing some different behavior, and it's hard to tell if it's just because it's springtime or if it's because Custard's not here. For instance, Loganberry has been a little more aggressive, as you just saw. You know, he's more willing to get up in Gabby's face all the time, and the other cats too. So that's not a positive thing, I wouldn't say. And it's interesting to wonder if it's just because, he's got a little bit of the spring fever, or if it's because he doesn't have Custard sort of keeping him down. It's hard to say. Also, another thing is Eddie has been more visible to me lately, and I know that since we moved to Connecticut, he's already changed quite a bit. But for instance, this morning at 6 a.m., Eddie decided to come in the bedroom, and he was just all over me from 6 a.m. until I finally decided to wake up and get out of bed like 2 hours later. He was purring and rubbing on my head, and when he wanted attention, I wouldn't give it to him. He would reach out with his claws and sort of pull at the pillow and then on my face a little bit. Not like clawing my face, but you know how a cat is. He'll reach out and put his hand on you, and then he'll just stick his claws out a little bit to get your attention. He's doing that and purring and doing whatever he can to get my attention. It's very unlike Eddie. He does not normally do that. Um, it was cute, though. It was very sweet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess some of you don't know, Custard went to go spend time at DJ's apartment while she's there because she doesn't get to come home for a few weeks. And we all thought it would be fun to see how Custard reacted and how the rest of the faculty reacted because he can be such a bully. And we also thought it would be really nice for DJ to have a cat to come home to every night while she's working. So that's what happened. That's all. He'll be back. She'll be back and he'll be back with her. He's not going to stay there when she's not staying there. Anyway, I think we've gone on just about far enough this morning. I've got lots still to get done. I got to do all the chores I was talking about. Oh, wow, look at that. Loganberry's at the very top of the tree, and that is Scuttlebutt up there with him. That is a very high place for a tiny kitten. They're getting so confident. Linda, I know you guys haven't seen Ari much, but Ari also has been just begging me for attention the last few days. He comes around, and he does this normally. It's not unusual, but he is very visible to me. He comes around and meows and just wants me to pick him up and snuggle him all the time. I don't know why he's not doing it in the morning during these close-ups, but the rest of the day he does definitely hit me up for all that attention. Whoa, we got a hanger. You need me to rescue you, buddy? That's yeah, that's not a far fall. Come on, you could have just let go. I got you. I got you, pal. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Thanks for the chat. Again, I've got to apologize every time for not being able to pay quite as much attention as I want. It's hard to keep the camera on kittens and keep a monologue going and read the chat all at once, but I do try. And if you said something that was insightful or witty or important and I missed it, say it again tomorrow when we do the next close up. All right? Until then, if you want to keep watching these kittens, and if you want to keep an eye on Bebop, who the vet says is going to deliver any day now, you can do that on the Kitten Academy live stream here on YouTube. I've got to say, the vet's prediction aside, I don't know if I just had to guess when I thought Bebop was going to deliver, I'd still give her at least a few days, but we'll see. Yeah, yeah. So Andrea Chu is making a good point that, one of the things that we usually look for is whether the mom cat is giving milk yet. And Bebop's not, as far as I know. I haven't actually checked, but she doesn't feel like she is. But, Gabby here is a counterexample of that too, where I was looking for it and didn't find it until the very last minute, I think. If I remember right, she was giving milk like the day she delivered, but not before that, maybe. So yeah, I mean, it is an indicator. We've definitely had mom cats where we didn't notice them giving milk until after they gave birth. So it's typically a good indicator, though. We'll keep looking at that. There's so many things that are indicators, and there's so many then cats that don't give you those indicators, and you just don't know what's going to happen. Just nothing's guaranteed. You just These days, all I say to myself is, you know what? It could happen at any time. It could be today. It could be 2 weeks from now. I've just gotten it wrong so many times that I've learned that if there's one lesson that you can learn, whatever you think you know about cats, they're going to surprise you. And that goes we've fostered well over 200 cats now at this point, and I'm still, whatever I think I know, the next cat proves me wrong. So. Okay, now I really got to wrap it up. Uh, Thank you all so much. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Also, Mom, I saw my mom chatting. I know you're listening, Mom. I am going to vacuum and do some cleaning, and I will call you when I make breakfast, okay? So it could be a little while, but I'm going to call you, really. All right. I love you, Mom, and I love all of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I will talk to you, the rest of you, tomorrow. And Mom, in a little while. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, everybody.